What's up, guys? It's me. Today we're going to be updating our Oscar predictions for 2025, and this will be our December edition. So this is before any of the award season has begun. This is before the Golden Globes, so it's really our last shot at trying to predict who will get nominated before getting any of the precursor awards, and I hope that this will be the best bet that I could possibly make. So let's start off with Best Picture. I have Anora. Conclave is at number 2 now. I see the strength of the film. I see how it's going to play to older voters of the Academy, and the box office convinced me to put it at number 2 compared to The Brutalist and Dune Part 2. And then we have Emilia Perez, and now Wicked. I have been a doubter of this film getting in for a long time, but now I have to concede. I have to put my hands and tie them at the bottom of the barrel because of my words being false. Wicked is absolutely getting nominated. It is just crushing all records. People are loving it. Audiences, critics, your mom loves it, your dog loves it. Everyone's gonna love Wicked, and it's gonna get in. The hype and the timing is also right at the peak of its momentum, so it is for sure getting in. Next up on the list, we have Nickel Boys. Now, this film, I'm a bit hesitant. Not a lot of pundits are confident in it, but I see the people that watch the film and they are moved by it. They are powered by it, and of course, we have Ramal Ross. People are singling him out for the best director of the year. I could see New York going for him, the critics, Los Angeles, and if he starts picking up director prizes in these critics awards, I think Nickel Boys will gain momentum from that, like the Drive My Car of last year. And then I have Sing Sing. I watched Sing Sing. I'm not a big fan of Sing Sing. I think it's too slow. It feels like a documentary with no strong story, I feel like, and I don't know why people are saying it's going to win Best Picture, although I could see in a year where there is no clear frontrunner, if A24 plays its cards right, I could see it doing some impact with Clarence Macklin, with Colman Domingo, but even with all that, I don't see Sing Sing as a real contender, and I could honestly even see it getting snubbed if A24 just continues doing what it's doing right now, which is not doing anything. Next up, we have A Real Pain Now. I was also a doubter of this from many months ago, but I do see the package, I do see the passion, how people really love this film, how people connect to it, and I do see the argument that it could be the coda of the year, as long as Searchlight does not get in with A Complete Unknown, which I don't have on this list. I have it just right outside missing it, because the reactions are pretty positive, but I just saw the Oscar Experts video, and they're saying that it's not quite good to get nominated for Best Picture, although that there is a package, so I'm going to put it at number 11 for now. A film that I absolutely do see the package, that I absolutely do see the passion for, is The Substance. Not only is it one of the best films of the year, it is the most critically acclaimed, one of the most critically acclaimed films, and a lot of people can watch this film. The people that don't like it will not like it, but the people that like it will champion this film. They will make sure that other people watch it, and I could see The Substance getting in with a really good package. Actress, screenplay, and technicals. And if it does get into editing and sound, I could also see it winning both of them, like how the combo usually goes. And then I have The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Now, I had to put this down a little because of I don't see the momentum. And frankly, the films in the top 11 right now do have momentum right now. So that's why I'm going to be putting The Seed of the Sacred Fig in the bubble. But if it does get in at the end of the day, I do get to say that I did call it early in my previous predictions, so there's that. Now, you guys are wondering, where is Blitz, where's Gladiator 2? I'm just going to not even put them in the list. I don't think they're both happening. Blitz is so dead, I don't even want to see it touch any list at all. I completely goose-egged it in my awards predictions, so you're not going to be seeing Blitz anywhere, including Saoirse Ronan. Best Director, I have Sean Baker, Nora, Bradley Corbett, The Brutalist, Denis Villeneuve, Dune Part 2. I feel I'm very confident with the three of them, although Denis could be snubbed. And then I have Ramal Ross. I'm going to put all my eggs in the Nickel Boys basket because of the passion for its direction, because of the passion for how the storytelling is done, and that's all due to Ramal Ross. And then I have Jacques Audiard. I know that there is controversy regarding Emilia Perez, but Jacques Audiard's vision in the film is undeniably so big and grand and bold, and I feel like people will respect that vision. They will respect Jacques Audiard, and he's going to be the foreign contender. If not him, I'm going with Core Life RJ for The Substance. The Substance is absolutely getting the momentum, and the direction is one of the peak highlights of the film. So if The Substance gets into picture, I can't see a world where it doesn't get director, but because I have The Substance at number 10, compared to Nickel Boys at number 7, compared to Emilia Perez at number 5, I'm going to put Corley RJ just missing out. And then I have Edward Berger for Conclave. Now, I have Conclave so high up for Best Picture, but I don't really see him getting in because I think the director's branch is going to snub him for an international pick. That could be Mohammad Razalov for the Seed of the Sacred Fig, depending on how much steam this gets. I could absolutely see this getting in at BAFTA and then getting in at Oscars, but we'll have to see for now. The top 5, I'm feeling pretty secure for now. Best Actor. So this is Adrian Brody's game, and we're all living in it. This is his world. Next, I have Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, who's absolutely getting in. Timothée Chalamet is also a lock for Complete Unknown. Comadungo for Sing Sing. In a world where Best Actor was more competitive, I could see him getting snubbed. Not this year. It is not competitive at all. The top 4, absolute titans, and then we have the remaining elusive top 5. Anyone can grab this top 5 as long as they campaign, including Glenn Powell for Hitman, if Netflix plays the cards right. And then we have Kingsley Ben-Adir, who has been campaigning, so he could also get into that Globe, that SAG, Critics' Choice, and then make it into the Oscar. We have Jesse Eisenberg, who I feel like is a real pain to seal Daniel Craig because people are highlighting that Jesse Eisenberg is just as good as Kieran Culkin. He may not be as showy, but they're really loving his performance. They love his grounded character nature and the way he plays this character. And if a real pain gets in the picture, I mean, and the actors branch love it, I could see Jesse Eisenberg getting into Critics' Choice, SAG, and then Oscar. Best Actress, Mikey Madison for Nora is still number 1. People are calling it the performance of the year. I have absolute confidence in Mikey Madison. And then we have Carla Sofia Gascon, who, even with the controversy, people love her performance as Emilia Paris, so she's getting in. And then I'm not actually that confident. Number 3 to number 10, anyone can get snubbed for anyone. It is an absolute dog show, but for now I have Angelina Jolie because of Pablo Larraín's really good streak, although I do see a world where Wake Up and Angelina Jolie is snubbed. And then I have Cynthia Erivo. I was originally going to leave her out because of the Barbie comparisons, because, Barbie missed, blockbuster lead roles don't get nominated for Best Leading Actor prizes, but Cynthia Erivo for Wicked hits a different chord. I don't see a world where Ariana gets nominated and Cynthia doesn't. That's why I put her really high up. And then I have Demi Moore. I'm going to stay very vigilant. I'm going to stay very, very strong when it comes to Demi Moore. I'm not going to take her off until I really have to, where she's not just getting any nomination, but I really see the narrative. And dare I say, if she gets nominated and if The Substance isn't Best Picture, she's going to win. She's going to win. She has the narrative, which is really strong. People want to see Demi Moore up on stage. People want to see Demi Moore get nominated. People want to see Demi Moore have her Natalie Portman moment, her Brendan Fraser moment, her Mikey Rourke moment. They want to see the career honored for the first time ever in her life. And why would they pass this moment with this incredible film, with this incredible performance? I don't see why. So I'm going to put it in for now. And then I have Fernando Torres, which I originally had in for I'm Still Here. I see the passion. I see the absolute standing ovation she's getting and the audience awards that the film that she's in is collecting. I just don't have the motivation to put her in yet. But I could easily see her get in. I just think the top 5 is really strong. She could even get in over Angelina Jolie. Who knows? Another really strong contender is Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths, who is also delivering a stellar performance in Mike Leigh's really good film, Hard Truths. Unfortunately, it's Bleecker Street and Captain Fantastic got in, which I did have her in, Marianne Jean-Baptiste. But right now, the competition is just way too strong in Best Actress compared to Best Actor. And then we have Saoirse Ronan, The Outrun. I don't see this getting anywhere. I'm so sorry. She's going to get a BAFTA nom, and that's it. Nicole Kidman, Baby Girl. I could see this getting in way more than just a BAFTA or a Golden Globe. But unfortunately, I feel like the film will be too divisive for the Academy. And then I have Amy Adams for Night Bitch. She could sneak in because she won the TIFF Award. The only thing keeping me up at night is that she won the TIFF Award, which was claimed by Brendan Fraser, Joaquin Phoenix, and so many other people that went on to win the Oscar. Unfortunately, she has no momentum. Searchlight is not even focusing on Night Bitch. It's focusing on A Complete Unknown and A Real Pain. Best Supporting Actor, safe to say, Kieran Culkin, Denzel Washington, Guy Pearce, Clarence Macklin are all locks for this category. I don't see them missing anywhere, including all major precursors and even the Critics Awards. Number 5 is Yuri Bosiev for Anora. I see him getting in because of his last scene that I hear is really good. and I just see the passion. I feel Anora is gonna be really loved by the actors branch, and I feel like it's just gonna surprise somewhere that's not Mikey Madison. For the win here, I'm not sure who's gonna win. I think Clarence Macklin or Kieran Culkin's gonna win if this is our nominee, but we'll think about that later. I have Dan Edward Norton for Complete Unknown, who I do think could sneak in, but I feel that Yuri is just gonna have that passion pick that's gonna get him in over Edward Norton, even if Edward Norton gets into SAG, Critics' Choice, and BAFTA. And then I have Stanley Tucci for Conclave, who was actually really good. Honestly, one of my favorite supporting performances from the film, but I just think the other six contenders are much more desirable to get their nominations. Best Supporting Actress is absolutely free ball for anyone's game, but I'm going to go with Zoe Saldana, Ariana Grande, Felicity Jones as locks. And then I have Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, where it's kind of funny because I just dismissed Stanley Tucci, who has ×5 more screen time than Isabella Rossellini. But I just see her getting in as a random Judi Dench pick, where the Academy just really likes her for some reason. I wouldn't nominate her personally. I don't even think her presence is felt in the film. A lot of people disagree, but that's just how I think. But I think I just have a feeling where we wake up, I'm going to see your name pop up on screen, which we'll see what happens with it. And then I have Aunjanue Ellis for Nickel Boys. At first, before I was about to talk about this list, I had her at number 8. But I thought about it, and she got the Hollywood Critics Award, the Astra Awards, which doesn't mean anything, but her getting that is a sign that people are noticing her without the film. She is an entity of herself, separated from the film because the film wasn't nominated for Best Picture. So that really gave me hope that Aunjanue Ellis could get nominated for Critics' Choice and BAFTA, and I think that I see a path for her. Unlike Monica Barbero, who I'm getting raves for, Selena Gomez I do think is going to get precursors, but is going to ultimately not end up getting the Oscar nomination, although she is very showy in Amelia Paris. I just don't think that that movie is going to get all of the nomination that it's expecting. And then I have Daniel Deadwyler for The Piano Lesson. This is absolutely not going to happen, but I put it on this list just so that I could talk about it. The Piano Lesson is not going to get a single nomination. If you've seen the film, you know it. How good. Even if Daniel Deadwyler gave the performance of a lifetime, of 400 years, the best performance ever made, she's not going to get nominated. She's not. It's as simple as that. People have tried to use this for Hereditary, for Lupita Nyong'o. Even if Daniel Deadwyler gets Golden Globe, SAG, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, she's going to miss the Oscar. I'm calling it right now. Right now. For Judi Dench even. For Isabella Rossellini, like you see in my list. She's just going to miss. And then Saoirse Ronan in Blitz. If Blitz is not happening in picture, her performance isn't that special for it to happen in an acting category. So Saoirse Ronan, I'm predicting you're going to get 0 nominations this year. So sorry. Best Original Screenplay, I have Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain getting in. Those are in my picture. And then The Substance as well. Those are my picture 4. And then I still have The Seed of the Sacred Fig because of a lack of competition and because of the narrative for the filmmaker behind the project. So that's why I have this top 5, which I feel very safe with so far. I usually had stuff number 5, creaking at number 5 spot. But that movie does not seem to go anywhere right now. It has no buzz. Hard Truths could get in because of the name factor alone, but I do have The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Challengers could also be part of a lot of critics' lists, but unfortunately, I don't see that film sustaining the hype all the way until January. Best Adapted Screenplay, Conclave, I think, is just going to win. Sing Sing is going to get nominated. Dune Part 2 is getting nominated. Nickel Boys is getting nominated. And then I have Amelia Paris, which is the top 5. This is a safe 5. I could see Amelia Paris getting snubbed, but I just don't know which one. If a hitman really plays well with the guilds and SAG and Critics' Choice, then I could see it getting in. But right now, I'm going to have Amelia Paris. The rest are just kind of looking in from the outside view. Best Cinematography, The Brutalist, Dune Part 2 are getting locked in, or they're going to compete for the win. I have Conclave in. Now, a lot of people are taking it off. I feel this is going to be the Tar pick. I feel something. I had Tar getting nominated for Best Cinematography in one of the predictions, and this is the same feeling I'm having right now. Conclave may not be the showiest, but it has that composed type of cinematography. And I do think Conclave is just going to get 3 or 4 more nominations than people are expecting. There it goes. And then I have Nickel Boys, because it does something innovative with the cinematography. So I feel like their branch is really going to resonate with it. And then here's my bold pick, The Girl with the Needle. I have this in as the foreign black and white film that just sneaks in, gets ASC, and then just gets in the Oscar nomination. And then I have Amelia Paris and A Complete Unknown. I'm also very tempted to put in, but the competition's way too much And then Maria, a lot of people have in. I'm not the most confident with the film, so I'm not going to put in it. I do see the narrative for Ed Lachin, I feel like, as a cinematographer, but I don't know. I just don't see it for now. And then I have Nosferatu, which I also thought that could get in until that Conclave and the Girl with a Needle idea started marinating in my head, and then, okay, I could see this being the top 5. Best original score, we have The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez. Those 3 I feel like are getting very solid to get inside the nominations. I don't think Conclave is going to win. The composer is going to win again. We do have The Brutalist for that epic score. And then I have Dune Part 2. If it is qualified, I do think it gets in. And then The Wild Robot, I think, will also get a precursor it needs, just like How to Train Your Dragon and just like when animated films do get into this category. Spider-Verse last year was not canon. It was an anomaly. I don't think that every film that's animated will never get into it because one film missed. And then I have challengers. I don't see this film getting any Oscar nominations, but if it does get into one, it's going to be for the score because people are listening to it when they go to the gym. People really love the score. And then I have Wicked, which honestly I could just see get in because people just love the film. It got into the Astra Awards recently, and I honestly could see it happening in Critics' Choice. It's so getting in Critics' Choice. It's getting into the Composers Guild Awards, and I could honestly just see it get in, but we don't know anything. Who knows? Blitz will get in if Dune Part 2 is disqualified. I think that's just how it's going to work. Blitz will get in if Dune Part 2 doesn't get in, because they would want to nominate Hans Zimmer somewhere for either films. Saturday Night is only here because it's John Baptiste. It's completely DO for the other categories, even screenplay. Best film editing is pretty short. Dune Part 2, Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Nora. The only reason why I'm a bit hesitant that this will be our top 5 is the substance. If the substance is getting in picture, I don't see how it doesn't get into editing because of how showy it is. I think it could knock out Anora. Even if Anora's winning Best Picture, then maybe it's going to knock out Emilia Perez or Conclave. But Emilia Perez has that really showy editing. Conclave is basically a thriller. The Brutalist and Dune Part 2, you know why they're there. Anora, I feel like some of the scenes are way too longer than it should be, and that is mostly due to the editor, and it also doesn't help the fact that Sean Baker is the editor behind Anora himself, and they're going to think, oh, we're already nominating him for Best Director, Best Screenplay, so they might snub Anora here. That's what happened to Roma with Alfonso Cuarón, so the substance, that's your gateway into getting in. And if Anora does get snubbed for Best Film Editing, I'm not going to predict it for Best Picture. Best Costume Design, Wicked's going to win, absolutely. Dune Part 2, Gladiator 2 are getting nominated. And then I have Maria getting nominated here because of the showy work and because of the lack of competition. And then I have Conclave getting in as the wowzer pick that people are not expecting. I predicted Oppenheimer. I predicted The Irishman. There's no way that I get this. I just have the streak going on where I predict a random Best Picture nominee for Best Costume Design that people aren't seeing yet, and then it gets said. But if it does for Conclave, then I'm not trusting my gut when it comes to Best Picture nominees just randomly showing up to Best Costume Design, like how I predicted Oppenheimer last year. Nosferatu could get in. Beetlejuice. If it gets precursors, if it gets Critics' Choice and the Guild Award, I could see it getting in. A Complete Unknown, I've seen some reactions highlighted, but I don't have it in picture, so I don't want to put it in every single nomination category. But if I do have it in picture, I might consider it for Best Costume Design. And The Brutalist could also be that Best Picture nominee, but I have Conclave taking that spot right now. Best Sound, The Substance could win if it gets nominated, but for now, I have this really solid top 5, which is Dune Part 2, Wicked's a musical, Complete Unknown's a music film, Gladiator 2 is an epic film, Emilia Perez is a musical. This top 5 seems very reasonable. The Substance could get into this list if it's really strong for picture. The Brutalist could also get into this list based on how widely popular the sound in the film is and how people want to praise the sound. And then Blitz, I don't want to put it anywhere. It's a dunzo. It's boring. Best Production Design, Wicked's going to win absolutely hands down. It's going to sweep all of the Production Design awards. Dune's going to get nominated. Gladiator's going to get nominated. The Brutalist is literally about production designer. So, yeah, it's getting nominated. And then I have Conclave with the narrative that they've built, the Vatican City. Yeah, I think it's getting nominated, and I have it in. And then Nosferatu could sneak in. Blitz, please get out of my sight. Best makeup and hair is the trickiest category to predict because I could see Wicked get in, but right now I have The Substance, Dune Part 2, and A Different Man. I think those three are pretty safe, although A Different Man could get snubbed because it's not that scene, and I just could see it getting randomly snubbed, although that'd be absolutely tragic. I have Beetlejuice, which I could see getting snubbed, but people have it in like a lot, so I'm just gonna put it in for now. And Nosferatu, I think we'll get into this category because even if it's horror, I heard that the makeup is really showy. And then I have Wicked and Furiosa. Best visual effects, I have Dune Part 2, Gladiator 2, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. I feel like those are pretty safe. And then I have Wicked because it's getting nominated into Best Picture, so this is also going to be part of the package. Although some of the visual effects have been getting complaints that it's kind of ugly, but that didn't stop Spider-Man No Way Home when it was just released. And then for the fifth spot, I'm going to do something interesting. I have Better Man instead of Mufasa the Lion King. Mufasa the Lion King looks like absolute dog shit, trash shit show. I don't know why people are predicting it to win or get nominated. If it does get nominated, it's absolutely because it's Disney. It's so bad. It looks horrible. It looks dull. I don't know what Barry Jenkins is doing with his time making such a dull film. But who knows? Maybe it's actually good. Maybe it's actually a really good film with really good visual effects that's going to get nominated into this best visual effects field. But right now I have A Better Man. I just see it. I don't know. It's a prediction. None of you have seen the film. I just see something weird pop up and just get the nomination. But we'll see with the short lists that are going to be announced in December if these films end up getting into the list. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching and see you guys January. Peace out.